Dear Mr. Skrillex, please do not take this remake down. We worked extra hard on it. We would also like to formally invite you to join us on the Excellent Show podcast. The producer community needs you now more than ever. The people will be forever grateful.
Another Xlntsound Skrillex remake? How original.
R.I.P., dude.
R.I.P. What is up, everybody? My name is Danny Ferrari.
My name is Parker.
And we are Xlntsound, and we are back. We are back with a vengeance with this remake today, buddy.
Oh, we are, dude.
Today we're talking about the infamous Skrillex Chewbacca Bass, right? And if you don't know, he's already used this sound, something similar, in Too Bizarre, the juked version, and I think he's definitely we've been noticing this sound kind of peaking up. Maybe Virtual Riot made this? This is a song with Virtual Riot? Did Virtual Riot make this bass?
Val, did you make this?
Mr. Valentine?
Or did Sonny do it?
Did Sonny do it?
Who made it?
It's probably Val. We're super excited to be doing this remake. The sound itself will be for free. It's a free Serum 2 preset. Link is in the description down below. But before we get started, we got a couple things we got to talk about real quick. We need you guys to know that we are super excited. We are announcing a brand new pack coming out. September 20th is the date that you need to remember, and we are starting on the Quest for Bass.
Volume 2, baby.
Volume 2, guys. This is going to be a huge pack. We are going to be announcing a lot of stuff through the coming weeks, and there will be an early access that we are doing. The link to join that right now is in the description below. Let me tell you why you want to do that, right? As always, when we do these early access releases, we always give extra bonuses. Right now, we're going to be giving you guys some of the information, like this project file will be included in the bonuses, along with another 4 project file bonus remakes.
There's so many crazy project files in this one, Danny.
Yes, we're not even talking about what's in the pack.
This is insane,
We have, the remakes are insane, but we have so many other stuff that's going to be included in the pack. The most project files we've ever done, okay? Yep. All the details will be coming out mostly through the email, so you want to make sure you're on that list because that's where the details will be going to you. So make sure you guys are on that list because Parker sends that shit out. Yeah. I can't fucking breathe.
That was fucking great. Breathe a little bit. Take a second. You guys, when you are on the list, you guys get the first to know everything, okay? Yep. You guys are gonna be getting so many emails, dude. So many news.
Don't scare
So
them.
many free downloads, dude.
Yeah, free shit.
I'm so excited. This is gonna be one of our biggest rollouts ever.
Also, another thing you guys need to know is that we will be doing a contest with some awesome prizes.
Oh, we love contests,
We're
baby.
doing an actual contest for those of you who get the early access. In order to do it, you have to be on the early access list and you have to purchase an early access copy of Quest for Bass Volume 2. The details for what the contest prize is, how to enter, all that stuff will be coming in the coming weeks along with that link in the description, email. Make sure you guys do that, and we'll be talking about it in the videos as well. So without further ado, let's jump in the video and let's talk about the Chewbacca bass, bro. All right, so the Chewbacca bass, we've definitely noticed him using this type of bass before. It's like a sustain, but it's a growl, and it sounds like Chewbacca going, that's what we call the Chewbacca bass.
Yeah, do that tongue thing again.
That's all I can do. I can't roll my R's, but I can do that. It's a super cool bass. We're gonna be talking about how to essentially make this exact, but also kind of give you guys some tips how to make your own, so you can kind of make your own sort of different types of Chewbacca basses. I feel like that's the consensus. We're just calling it the Chewbacca bass.
We did a whole voting system on Instagram. You guys wanted to see Chewbacca over the main bass, so that's what we're doing.
Yeah, and we will do the main bass coming up in the following weeks, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that one, that first bass that you hear. With the Chewbacca bass, there's a couple things that we got to start doing. So let's start with an initiated patch. There is a little bit of post-processing, but it's nothing crazy. But thanks to Serum 2, we can do most of it by ourselves with no help from Ableton processing. There's a little bit, but not too much. You can do most of the shit in Serum now, which is awesome for those of you in FL. All right, so the first thing we're gonna start with is we're gonna start with one of our favorite wavetables, the I Can Have Kick. This I Can Have Kick is like a really, really warbly sort of sounding sample. It's actually, wavetable. It's actually made from a kick sample, which is kind of cool. Should be starting like this. We're using C2 as our octave range, and we're gonna set the octave to -2. The wavetable position is gonna be set to 134. That's super important. Let's go ahead and solo it and hear what it sounds like right off the bat. very snailsy. You can kind of hear the ultrasound also too. If you hear that song Ultra from FUS, very similar too. So make sure you set that to a -2 for the octave. And then we're gonna go ahead and set up a couple LFOs. We got quite a bit to do. So your first LFOs, you're gonna wanna make something like this. It's sort of a ramp up with the table and a slant down around halfway. This is gonna go on a bunch of shit, which we'll talk about. You're gonna wanna set this to bar right off the bat. For LFO 2, it's just gonna be a basic triangle shape, and that's gonna be set to 16th and set it to free. LFO 3 is going to be similar to LFO 1, except it's a little bit more octagonal, half of an octagon. 1, 2, 3,
Octish.
4, 5, 6, yeah, octave, 6 sextagon, 7 sevenstagon. Who knows what the fuck the shape is called?
There's a lot of points in there.
I didn't
dude.
get to geometry. Me and Parker did consumer math, which
Yep.
is little kid math, because we were not smart enough to
We called it essentials math.
to get through algebra. Fuck it.
Essentials, bro.
So this is a sextagon, fuck it. So make a little half sextagon right here, set that to envelope and make sure that's set to bar. LFO 4 is going to be a little short little ramp right here, kind of like a triangle as well. A little obtuse, that's a word. Obtuse, I think that's a
That is obtuse,
geography
bro.
word. Geography, we did too good in geography. Isn't that fucking about maps?
Yes.
Sick. Okay, envelope, set that to bar. Okay, so that's all the LFOs. All right, first, let's go ahead and let's take LFO 4 and let's go ahead and assign that to the detune here, right? And set that to 44%. Go ahead and set the unison to 2. It's gonna sound like kind of phasey-ish. It's just gonna shoot this detune up real quick. Weird, right? Make sure the random's all the way up to 100. Let's go ahead and apply LFO 2 next, the triangle. We're gonna use this like a vibrato, and you're gonna set this to the fine tune. This is gonna sound super weird at first, guys. Cool little tip right here, a little nug. There is pitch tracking now in Serum 2, or maybe it was in Serum 1. I don't remember, but I didn't know about this.
I don't think it was.
You can enable pitch tracking, which is super nice. So go ahead and set this on the fine tune. Use LFO 2. Make sure, again, 16th and triangle. It's gonna get a little shaky. Really out of tune, super detuning, but we're gonna be talking about that in a little bit. And then we're also gonna go ahead and put it on the wavetable position, just slightly, just a little bit of movement, right? And that's gonna be set to 4%, as well as putting it on the detune, and that's gonna be set to 6%. Okay, so the thing about the Chewbacca bass is it shakes, right? What we're hearing is a right? And what you can do is you can essentially shake the pitch with fine tune, but we're also gonna use resonance to get that shaky pitch, okay? Now that we got our first oscillator, I think that's pretty much it, except for this last one right here. LFO 1 is going to go on the wavetable position, set to 134, and set that to 100%. Here it gets all, it kind of squeezes it, right? You're kind of hearing it kind of start to squeeze a bit. The thing about Skrillex and Virtual Riot, or whoever the fuck made this bass, is this dude likes to get super weird with different pitches, semitones, but ultimately, me and Parker were talking about this, the root note is always there. A lot of times he's using FM to do this, but with Serum 2, we have a lot of powerful capabilities now because we have multiple oscillators and we have different routing. So, up here, you can click this button and you can route things to different filters and so forth. Right now it's set to stock, so just bear with me because I'm gonna try to blast through some of this shit and it's gonna be a little bit confusing, but you're there. Make sure you watch this because you'll actually fucking learn something. Okay, this is set to noon, we're fine. Now let's go ahead and let's get our other oscillators set up. Let's go ahead and set up oscillator B. Oscillator B, we're using basic shapes. We're gonna use a sine wave. We're gonna set that to +2 for the octave, -3 for the semitone, and we're gonna go ahead and set the level down to like -28.4 or 20%. Let's bring in our other oscillator, oscillator C, right? And then oscillator C is going to be set to +2 and -6. Yes, this is super weird. We weren't doing shit like this in Serum 1. This is Serum 2, baby. We're getting nuts with this shit. -7 for the fine tune if you want to match it, just like ours. Not super important, but that's how we do. Sine wave, again, using basic shapes, and then 4 waves of unison. The detune is going to be set to 0.01, and the level's going to be set to 51%. Let's hear what this sounds like. We're able to use this extra oscillator as harmonics. When we're missing harmonics, it's nice to be able to use a sine wave and pitch it to a specific harmonic that you might be missing out of the sound that you're trying to remake. Super cool what you can kind of do there. You can kind of hear it start to move. We also have a pitch bend going on, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Okay, so right now it sounds kind of weird, right? Like, let's just hear it in context. This is gonna be kind of funny, I'm sure. Can you imagine? All right. He's like, that's it. That's done. What's cool is like a lot of these sounds, like all these drums, all this stuff is in Quest for Bass Volume 2, by the way, guys. All this stuff will be included in that. All these great drums. We even made this sine snare from the first drop. If you guys want to see a video on how to do this type of stuff, let us know. It's so simple.
So nice.
That's a Serum preset, so kind of cool little side note. All right, ADD, let's jump back into it. Next, we need a sub oscillator. Let's go ahead and set the sub oscillator, set that to -2. Make sure the level is turned all the way up to 100%, and we're using the parabolic sub, which has just like a little bit kind of a squared off sort of sub. Let's get into some noise. Don't worry, the fun stuff's gonna start coming together here in just a minute. Make sure you use inharmonic 6, that's the noise we're using. Set your level all the way down. Everything here is stock except for pitch is at 52. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna apply LFO 1 to the level knob of the noise oscillator. There's that noise coming through. And then we're also gonna apply it to the fine tune to get a little vibrato on the noise. Make sure that's 3, and I think it's going one way. It looks like it's not going both ways like you and I. Okay, so one thing I forgot to mention is oscillator B are set to main. What that means is it's going to bypass these filters, which is awesome, right? That's gonna go directly into the effects, which we'll get into, and that's when stuff's gonna start to sound really cool. But again, oscillator A is going into filters 1 and 2. That's why it's set to noon. It's going into both in series, I believe. No, in parallel. I don't fucking know. Just put it in the fucking middle. Shut up. Now the noise oscillator is going to filter 1, as you said here. Make sure that goes all the way to the left to just to filter 1. Okay. Now we're in filter 1. Let's start putting some stuff together. We're gonna use the L/P/H/12. That's 3 filters in 1. That's a low pass. That's a peak filter, a pinch whatever filter, and a high pass filter at 12. That's just going to oscillator A and the noise filter. Set the cutoff at 13 Hertz. Let's go ahead and apply this nice little LFO, the vibrato LFO. This is an important LFO. We're gonna put that on the cutoff, so we're gonna shake that cutoff. Now, Danny, it doesn't sound like it yet. Just fucking wait, right? Because we're gonna add LFO 1 to the cutoff. Cutoff is set to 13 Hertz. I'm gonna go ahead and bypass that, and then look at here. So see the drive, see the morph? That we're essentially making into a high pass filter. And then a lot of resonance at 79%. Watch what happens. Whoa, no, we're making it into a peak filter. The shakiness of that resonance, guys. Resonance is pitch, right? We're moving it, we're taking a frequency and we're sweeping really fast. That's giving it to go like, that's giving it that gargly sound. Really cool. Really want you guys to pay attention and learn about some shit, because I fucking think I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into filter 2. Filter 2, let's go ahead and enable that. Filter 2 is going to be set to the main, okay? Again, directed to main. Filter 1 is going to filter 2. It's already set automatically, but make sure filter 2 is main. I think that is how it's set up by default, but just double check. Make sure you got all your shit together. This one, we're using a high pass filter. Let's go ahead and set the cutoff to 10 Hertz, and let's apply LFO 1 to that cutoff right here and go ahead and set that to 50%, and it's gonna sound like this. Watch what happens with the resonance. Sorry, and the resonance, right, sorry. Set the cutoff to 10 Hertz. I'm getting super excited because I feel
spicy.
Like I'm losing Parker. He's falling asleep. I can
spicy.
see resonance at 34%. Drive, a little bit of distortion on there, 25%. Now watch what happens. That sweep is giving it that whoa, right? That's giving it that sort of scream to it, especially with the high resonance. Now watch what happens when we use this LFO, which is similar to this one, less sweepy, right? But it's just sort of the sextogram, the half sextogram. We're gonna throw that on the resonance, right? And we're gonna go ahead and set that to 53. Again, the resonance is at 34. Oh, did you hear that? Whoa, that wah scream is coming from that resonance peak, just pushing it up. Yes, you can fucking learn something on this channel. If you shut the fuck up and just fucking listen, Parker. Did you hear that? Whoa! You don't seem excited.
No, I was just thinking about, like, people need to get used to hearing things that are not processed when they're sound designing. You know what I'm saying? You have to get the fundamentals. You got to get the essence of the sound first, and then worry about the post-processing after. You know what I'm saying?
Some people just download the preset, and like that doesn't help you. If you actually like watch this, and like you'll see as we're taking one thing off at a time, you'll start to see the sound come together, and then you'll learn like, oh, if I want to get that scream sound, I need to do a high pass filter with a resonant. So I'm glad you brought that up.
It's huge.
Yeah, it's like super important when you're deconstructing presets to essentially go one by one and kind of see what everything's doing. We're trying to make it in a fun, entertaining way because it can be a little painstaking. But yeah, this is super important. That's giving the screaminess to it. That resonance, whoa, and then the high pass sweeping through. All right, now that we got that, I think we got all our LFOs on this page. I hope I don't fuck up because there's a lot going on, but I think I'm doing pretty good.
No, I think so
Let's
too.
get into the effects, where this is gonna get a little wild, especially the first sound that we're doing because we got some wild shit going on. Quick note, one thing I really like to do, and you'll see in a lot of Xlnt presets, especially our last color base pack that we put out, is we wanted to process our subs separately. So what we've been doing is here, if you go to our sub, right, oscillator, you'll see that it's going to none. You can select where it goes. I like sending it to none. I don't want to send it to main because that's essentially where everything's going. So imagine like sending your sub to direct out like how you could in Serum 1, so it just goes directly out and we don't have any effects on it. But now I can send it to none and then I can say send it to bus 2. So you don't want it to go anywhere, so basically this is only going to bus 2. And then what I do is I like to have a nice little sub bus effects processing. This is very, very simple. It's just a little bit of tube distortion for some saturation, a little bit of compression, and then essentially making it mono with this utility. I think I'm doing this right, but these are all the settings. You can copy this. I'm gonna turn this on, and it's really nice. It helps the sub really come out. Now you want to make sure that when you do this in the mix, you need to send this bus to direct out, right? Because we don't want this bus to go into this crazy effect shit, right? Because this has got a bunch of filtering and we're going to lose that low end that we want. Super important if you're going to be processing. And now you can have your own dedicated sub in Serum, like really good. A nice process sub in Serum. It's awesome.
Yeah, and the other thing too is this is what we would do in Ableton anyways with our
100%.
sub. You know,
Yeah,
we would monoize
Yep.
everything up to 90 or even 100 sometimes.
Right.
And it's like, dude, it's all in Serum now.
It's amazing
so great.
what you can do. I mean, this is what's going to be cool about these coming videos is like we're really going into some of the crazy shit we've been figuring out in Serum too. You don't have to do this. If you want to keep doing dedicated subs your own way, that's fine, but this is just a cool way
You
to
have to do this. You have to, okay? We're demanding it.
Or fucking leave. Buy something.
Get out of
maybe
here.
buy something, buy a couple things, and then leave. Or give us a like and a comment, something nice though. Okay, so now everything is going to this main. Let's check again just real quick for the routing just to make sure people got it. Oscillator A is going to filter 1 and filter 2. Oscillator B is just going directly to the effects page. Oscillator C is going directly to the effects page. The noise oscillator is going to filter 1, and then filter 1 is going to filter 2, and then from filter 2, we're going to the effects page. That is where we are now.
You turned off the noise.
Thank you, Parker. Let's add some distortion. We're gonna add some drive. Okay, just a little bit at 8% and a little bit of mix, and then we're going to use a little bit of post filtering. 2, 4, 11 for the frequencies. This is a low pass filter. Cutting those highs. You hear that? You hear that harmonic? That's this oscillator, which is kind of interesting. This one right here. Okay, now that we got that, let's go ahead and add. This is adding a little notch pull.
They've been wondering, what is that oscillator C for, dude?
You're about to see.
They're all questioning. What is that? Did they forget about oscillator C?
Don't forget about it.
No, we didn't.
So the frequency out here is 462. This is creating like a little bit of phase. We're pulling out some harmonics. This is probably because we were trying to match the sound as close as possible and we're trying to adjust some of the harmonics. Minus 18.5. So this is a little bit of surgical EQ here, pulling out some harmonics that we don't want. It also can add a little bit of phasiness to it. Okay, second one, we're boosting a little bit of highs shelved up here at 2041 and then pulling out a little bit of a notch here at 360, all the way out of that gain. You can hear it start to sound a little phasier. Because those little notches are what creates phase. Phase is like kind of crazy. It goes like up notches, down notches. That's how a phaser kind of works.
Think about a cum filter, dude.
Just like a cum filter, but less cum. Less resonance.
It's just
cum.
one singular.
It's like a couple sperm resonances. Cum filters.
I didn't say that. I said it's a cum filter.
Cum filters have resonance coming all over the place.
I don't know where you're going, dude.
Phase filter has just a couple cum points. This one has 4.
It's called a cum filter, right?
It's a cum filter, yes.
Exactly.
Rate is set to 11.39. Poles, you got 4 poles shooting cum at 4. Depth, how depth is that pole? Well, it's about 50% deep. The second pole depth is about 0.75. Your freaky knob is about 178. Your feedback shots is at 70%, and the phase is at 180. This is on a spectrum. And then mix is at 0%, and then we're gonna apply LFO 3 to that mix knob. Let's go ahead and apply that, and that's gonna be set to 63. Watch how phasey and sexy it gets right now. Oh, we're getting warbly. I'm telling you, Snails, shout out Snails. Fred, love you, dude. He is the master of using the phaser. He definitely like mastered the idea of like using distortion and a phaser together to get this sort of cool warbly wet sound. Next, let's go ahead and use a little bit of multi-band compression. Pretty stock here. I think just a little bit of adjustment on the attack and release, and then of course some gain, major gain, and then pulling up some highs, mids, and whatever. You can just copy that best you can. Oh, we're getting there, aren't we?
There she is, dude.
See how bubbly that phaser helps? Now, we got a little bit of a high pass filter that we're using the EQ on, and then we're gonna try to get that sweep again, because we're kind of losing it after all this compression. So sometimes like we'll do something like this, you know how this filter is moving, right? And then sometimes you kind of have to do it again because you're adding all this processing and you're kind of losing the sound a bit. So that's what is happening here. We're doing a little high pass shape, so make sure you guys cut the lows right there, set the frequency to 69. Right? 59 for the cue. Fuck it. Let's put it at 69.
That was aggressive, bro.
Let's make that feel good too. And then the gain at 0. The frequency over here is 159 and 66. This is going to be a notch. That's hear what this just sounds by itself. Let me turn it on. Right, boosting a lot of low end. We need to get some movement on this bad boy. So LFO1 on the freaky knob, set that to 18%, and then also put it on the other side, the right side freaky knob, and set that to 8%. So they're peeking into each other, making a giant pull. And then of course, vibrato trick, right? Remember we talked about this. We're gonna add LFO2 to the frequency of the right side, and that's gonna shake this point. Watch. Get a little warbly there. Do you hear that? It's kind of cool that you can do that. Right? Next, a little bit of hyperdimension. Apparently, I'm not doing shit on this. Let's turn the mix up. Fuck it. That's too much. Turn it down. Or just fucking delete it. Next, we got another little bit of, we got a phase filter here. We're trying to get even more warbly, right? Okay, so this phase filter, we're using phase 46H6 plus. Frequency at 24 hertz, res at 75, drive all the way down. High pass frequency all the way down, we're not using it. And then the mix is gonna be at 58%. We're gonna apply LFO2 to the cutoff because we want more shakiness. Make sure that's going back and forth, I believe, -3. And then on the resonance, you're also gonna apply it to that, and that's gonna be set to 11%. That's going one way. See how shaky it's getting? Let's wait, I forgot to turn it on. Oh, it's getting warm. Oh, it's got a little distortion in there.
And it's got some mids.
Yeah, that's
got some
helping.
more mids.
Interesting. It's pulling up all that dirtiness up there.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Next, we got a little bit. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. We're almost there. Okay, then we got a little bit of EQ. We're going to be moving around some stuff too. We're just kind of boosting a little bit of frequency. We're just trying to tone match here. Up to you if you want to do this, but we're boosting at 390 hertz, Q57 gain at -4. And then we're pulling out this one right here at 207. And then lastly, I think we have just a little bit of distortion. Ooh, real nice. Okay, let's add LFO3 to the mix. And then we also have the filter. So this is set the soft clip, and the filter is set to like a bandpass filter. Okay, now, were you gonna say something, Parker?
Yes, I was gonna say, it's really nice to put a distortion at the end of your effects chain, because it kind of brings in like the glue to everything. You know what I'm saying?
It absolutely
Or a
does,
saturator.
Yeah. Just a little bit of saturation at the end really kind of helps glue
it's
it.
very, very nice.
As
Especially after a long effects chain like this.
As opposed to using like a compressor sometimes too, you can use like a glue. But yeah, saturation can kind of just sausage thing just a little bit tighter. You can kind of help it like a compression. I mean, essentially it's like a limiter. When it says clip, it's essentially what it's doing. Oh, this is important. I forgot this. We want to make sure LFO1 is on the cutoff knob of this phase filter that we added. And we're going to want to go ahead and set that to 27%. The cutoff is at 24 hertz. There it is. See those little resonance peakies coming through? Those are really helping. And they're shaky as fuck. Look. They're shaky.
Like twitching.
Right, exactly. And then looks like we forgot a vibrato on the filter 2 frequency. So we need to add it here on this high pass. I forgot to add it here as well. Set that to -1. A little more shakiness. Let's check here. Okay. Dude, look how much shit is on here. We gotta check or forget. Effects 6 EQ frequency. So let's check
Some
that.
more shake.
Okay, a little bit of LFO3 on the frequency knob as well. That's at 12%, and that's at 159 hertz. It's sweeping it just a little bit. And then, oh, okay, last couple things. So remember this LFO? We forgot to put this on the D-tune. On oscillator C, we set the unison to 4. Also, this needs to essentially shoot the D-tune up and then bring it out of tune and then back into tune. Just real quick. And then lastly, we're gonna go ahead and add a little bit of master tune right here, okay? The main tuning right here, I have it turned up. Oh, it's because it's bypassed. So LFO4, you're gonna wanna go down to one of these things. This is how you do the main tunings. You select it like this, and then you select your LFO. So you go LFO4, and then you wanna select master tune, which is in global main tuning. What's called main tuning now, which I don't know how I feel about that. And you're gonna wanna make sure you set that to 2%. Okay.
Isn't it so nice? You don't have to click on it anymore. You can just flow it over. It's so great, dude.
So nice. 2%, and then make sure it's just going one way. It's unipolar. Right? That sub is coming in. And then, of course, we've had this sort of pitch bend happening the whole time. That's also to help it because it probably felt like the tuning itself. Oh, there's like a little pitch bend at the very end. That's why. Right? If it doesn't sound like that, it's probably sounding like this until you add this real quick. So let me just show you guys. It sounds like this. The -2 that we added with the master tune kind of does that for us, but this also kind of just helps it. It just felt like it was a little bit stronger. Right? Nice. Okay. Now, let's get into just a little bit of processing. Up to you if you guys want to do this. We used a little bit of high vocoder. We did a little bit of a chain action here where we're just essentially adding a vocoder to the highs.
The boys love vocoder, Val and Sonny.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
We had to put that
the
shit
vocoder
on
everything, dude.
Vocode everything, right? Okay, a little bit of high pass. You're gonna go ahead and create a vocoder. You're gonna add an EQ and you're gonna cut off the lows. You're gonna add a vocoder and then you're gonna set this to modular, enhance, depth at 134, formant at -4.7, 100%, range at 18 and 58.9, 40 bands, 99.1% bandwidth. And let's hear what this is sounding like. Let me turn off this phase filter real quick. Oh yeah, let me solo it. And then a little bit of phaser because I didn't want to sometimes when you put a vocoder on a sound, especially the sound that has a lot of low end and sub, it fucks up the low end and gets all phasey. So that's why we essentially did this. And then Sonny loves the phaser, right? This phaser, I don't know how I feel about it. I'm getting a little bit better with it. It's like the phase flanger combined now. Yeah. This is the settings for it: 269, 100, feedback down, dry wet at 32, 4 pulls or notches, spread at 81. And then a utility, we just kind of took down the width a little bit. This is just to kind of match it as best we can. If you guys have FL, just use a little vocoder and just, I don't know if your vocoder has a dry wet, you can essentially do that too. That'd probably give you like a high pass filter in it. Vocode X. Okay, now I'm gonna unsolo it. And then let's add a fat rack just to get it nice and fatty. Woo-hoo-hoo, baby.
Nice, dude.
Fat rack helps out a lot, but as you can see, but just by itself, man, this thing fucking rips. It's not, I mean, Serum, you can get so powerful, but just a little extra. Just a little.
That's like mixing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's to like have it sit in the mix real nice.
So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Again, this will be in the download description down below. We got a link for free. You guys can download that. You can download the rack. But more importantly, the link you really want to make sure you click, because if you want to get this project file along with all of these sounds and a ton more and enter yourself in a nice contest that we're doing, you want to make sure you sign up for the early access for Quest for Bass Volume 2, September 20th. Early access will be available only to those who are on the list. The only way you get on the list is by clicking the link and signing up, and you're gonna get a bunch of emails from Parker about lovely things. He might send you a couple inappropriate pictures, probably not.
Maybe some foot pics.
Maybe some foot pics. Those
Who
are
knows?
appropriate. Again, we'll be telling you this, we have more project files, original shit that we're putting out.
Don't tell them yet, dude.
That's what I
Don't
said.
tell them too much. Don't tell them too much. I know, we're getting excited.
Quest for
There's
Bass
more
Volume
to
2.
come. Quest for Bass. Come on the quest with us.
Let's go.
And get a bunch of basses.
Thank you guys for watching. Comment what you guys like, and if you guys want to see the first sound, let us know too. We're doing it anyway, but let us know that you really want to see it. It makes us want to do it quicker.
Also, Val, if you're watching, comment down below. Tell us how accurate we are.
How do we do, Val? Tell us you like us. Tell us you're proud of us. We'll see you guys in the next one. Let's play this out, dude. What do you
Play
say?
it out, dude.